Teen Titans issue 4, written by Benjamin Percy and art by Koi Pham. I think this might have been the best issue of this yet.
Yeah?
I'd say it definitely was.
So, yeah, so this was, obviously, we ended the last issue with Damien going to Ra's al Ghul and saying, leave the Titans alone, I'll come back and be the heir to the demon and all the rest of it, everything you want. And Raz is like, I don't even know if I want you.
Yeah.
To sum up.
You already picked your dad. Yeah, you already picked your dad, so you have to prove it.
Well, how great was that page?
Combat.
How great was that page though, where he puts him in front of the mirror, and he's like, "What do you see there?" And like we see in one side, we see him as Batman growing up, and then the other side, Raz sees him as Ra's al Ghul when he grows up.
Yeah.
Really cool idea. But so the Demon's Fist comes walking in, and Damien challenges the leader to trial by combat. And if he loses, she gets to keep the right to be the head of the Demon's Fist and all the rest of it. Meanwhile, Beast Boy was overhearing some of this. He goes back to the rest of the Titans and says, "Yeah, he was turning himself in to save all of us. I mean, this is weird. He's actually not terrible."
Admirable.
Yeah, and then Starfire's like, "Yeah, deep down somewhere, we have this delicacy on our planet where it's poisonous, but if you strip out the outside and you burn it just right, eventually you have the most tasty thing in the world."
And that's Damien. He's poisonous, but he can be formed to be something good.
Yes.
Eventually, yeah. I feel like that's encapsulated in that shot with the mirrors, though, where it's like, eventually, this is what he could be.
Yeah.
He could go either path,
Yeah.
But see, I feel now, though, that's kind of false reasoning, because we all know he's in with the bats.
Oh yeah,
he's his father's son, and I think all that doubt's kind of gone.
See here though, I don't think it was doubt. I think it was like reluctantly willing to do it to save his friends. Like he was trying to do something.
Well, that's why I think that the mirrors work so well, because one isn't what he sees, one's what Raz sees, and then he sees Batman. There is no doubt there. Yeah. But it's still the idea that it could have gone that way. That's the exterior that he presents. That's why Raz can see that.
So we get the Titans coming to save him. They decide to, they have the Titans together moment. We're like, all right, hands in the air. We're going to go in and save Damien. Yep. And they show up at the end of the issue when they show up and they're like, because Damien gets beat in the trial by combat. He gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah. Well, because he kind of turns around and is like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in a bunch of martial arts movies.
But yeah, because he's winning.
Where it's like, don't turn your back. You turned your back on him.
Yeah, because he's winning.
She's beat, but he won't kill her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, my favourite panel in this, there's a lot of good ones actually, because the art's really nice. It's really, as much as we lost John Boy Myers, who did the first couple, and he was really good. Yeah. The new artist is also really good, and keeps the same style, really colourful, really bright, really expressive. My favourite panel is when they challenge each other to the trial by combat. There's a panel of Ra's al Ghul's face, and he's just like, and his mouth's open, his eyes are open. He's like, I love when the kids play, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
It's just,
evil Grandpa's evil.
He's so enthusiastic about killing. It's great.
he just loves this whole thing.
Yeah, I want to know who her parent is, because if that's his cousin, like.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Who did Roz manipulate into providing another heir? Like that's a backstory I'd like to get.
Do we know of a brother or sister Ghul?
Oh, you had Talia and it's in Death of the Maidens. She has a sister, but the sister turned on Roz. I can't remember her name.
Do we have Nissa in the comics? I think we do.
Nissa. Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay, right, cool.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's others. That's what I liked about in the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, that he's got, he's ancient. He's got kids everywhere, kind of like Vandal Savage.
Theoretically, he's got kids who are already like in their 80s. I mean.
Oh yeah. So, but I like
ahead,
that. Yeah, but I like that he's essentially evil grandpa here, where he's like, yeah, fight for my attention, please.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of feels like, I've been a bit bored lately, and I feel like the kids haven't been bringing me any presents, so I think I'm prove their worth.
I'm going to show them how much I love them by making them fight each other to the death.
Which, by the way, this fight
in a cool volcano.
Yeah, I was going to say this fight to the death takes place on this narrow archway that goes over the top of lava in a volcano. It is the most over the top thing ever.
Yeah, I'm so glad because that's a Bond villain, and that's who Roz was essentially meant to be. Was a Bond villain to fight Batman in the 70s.
Yeah.
So.
And that's kind of how it feels with the kids as well. Like, oh, he's just getting he's really excited about the attention, and that's very Bond villain as well.
Yep. But also, doesn't Beast Boy in this issue have that speech about Tim?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I thought it was
because they all talk about the doubts and the stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So no, it's just got a little bit of heartwarming. Art's great. Fun stuff for Damien as always. And again, that whole thing when Damien's training before the fight, and he's like talking to himself, and this is something they've really been setting up recently in Rebirth, is the whole idea, like we've seen him practicing, he's like, to me my titans, in one of the, I think it was actually a Nightwing.
Yeah.
He's so awkward.
Yeah, but in here he's like talking to himself as he's like just sort of training and warming up, and he's like, how dare you insult the son of Batman. It's so Damien, like it's like
he's proper pep talking himself, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like it's an arrogance, but it's like an arrogance with a cheesiness to it that really works.
Yeah.
And I like
it. I think it's really arrogant that he changes it to I float like a bat and sting like a scorpion. It feels like that's so arrogant that he's like, no, I'm putting my own take on this.
Yeah.
Of course. I was gonna say, Pete said it's got that cheesiness. I'm like, that's all the time he spends playing Cheese Viking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This is why when people say I don't like Damien and they think he's the worst Robin, I will hear none of it.
It's fantastic.
It ends with remind me, because this is another first one.
So Robin's defeated and they all break in.
Yeah, he's thrown in a cell, and the rest of the Titans come in and say your friends are here. And
there's also we skipped over where the rest of the Demon's Fist are kind of mad at Damien's cousin's name,
Mara.
Mara, because she stole what they believe was rightfully theirs of their defeat of the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
So they're kind of starting to turn on her, and it's all just based off of Damien.
Yeah, they even pondered a little bit. You know, he was willing to like die to save his friends. Like maybe he is a better leader than she is.
Yeah.
So
it's really good.
But it set up the
Teen Titans.
Set up the team for the next issue for a nice big fight. So that'll be cool.
Yep.
The next issue might be the last one of the arc because it's issue 5. It could be a 5-issue thing plus the rebirth. So.
Yeah, and obviously the letter just says Titans together. It feels like that could be the end. Like that's them as a team. So, so then the next arc comes after.
Yeah, they'll
fight.
I
hope they take over the volcano lair. The Titans Tower.
Yeah,
the volcano lair.
Maybe, but it does seem like they'll fight the Demon's Fist next issue and win, and give Raz the middle finger or whatever they're going to do.